Welcome everyone to session 2 of the book series. So where we left it at the end of the last session was that I put the canvas at a tilt, and in order to get a line formed by a drip. So now we can see it the right way up and straight, and I think it confirms that I think this is a really positive for me. This is the line I'm going to choose. I like the crispness and I like the position of it. So we're going to work with it. It needs a bit of tuning up because it's sort of nice and crisp and straight here, but not here. So we'll adjust that later. So I've been very good. I haven't worked on it. I've been very tempted, but I've been thinking about it and running through some ideas and looking a lot. And what I've come up with is this idea of this location shape balancing on the edge here. I think it doesn't work, and I think they have to be separated because I really do want this line to dominate the painting. And I think by them touching, the eye tends to go from there into there instead of going like that. So we're going to move this shape, and we're going to redraw it and move it away from this edge. And maybe at a different angle as well, so we'll do that in a second. And the other thing I was thinking as well, there's too many colours, so I really do have to be decisive now. And it's, the choice is between yellow or pink, and I'm going to go with the pink. So I like this to have a sort of cool feel, a cooler palette to this painting. So we're going to take out most of the yellow today. I think I'll keep this little shape here. I quite like that yellow there against the pink in this line. But we're going to take out the rest of the yellow, and yeah, sort of take it from there, and then work on the blacks as well. So I had to do a little bit of painting this week. So I started a new small harbour painting, and you see this area here and this area here. I hope it comes across that these bits of paint are much more translucent and much more interesting than what I've got here. There's a lot more depth and richness to these areas. So this is what we want in this painting. So I think we've got to I may put some transparent ultramarine on top now and build up the layers. So there's light coming through these blobs, which is quite nice. So this is just the underpainting. We're going to make these more interesting. And I mentioned before, I think this area is going to represent the night sky. So we're going to have lots of coloured lights and stuff. But before we do that, we've got to make the black really rich before we start adding colours to it. So what we get done today, I'm not sure. We might do the lights in the next session. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to get rid of the yellow first thing. Okay, I'm aiming for a cooler pink. So I'm going to avoid cadmium red. So we'll go with rose and magenta and possibly Indian red for the pink. So we'll just get a big blob of titanium down. Bit of rose. Bit of thinner. I'll just see how this goes. Might be too dark, but let's just see. A little bit bright for me, so let's calm it down with a touch of Indian red. Just a touch of Indian red. So. Might be slightly too dark, but we're going to try it. So now I'm going to take this mark and take it over to the painting and basically run through the some of the yellows. Okay, so we go into the painting. So this area here, we're going to get rid of this because I want this to dominate. They sort of cancel each other out. So So it's essentially it's just massive blob of paint. We're just going to take it out, and I think I'll take this line out as well, and possibly go to the bottom of the canvas. We're just going to see. So I want it all to go. It should transform the painting actually. So here we go. A bit higher. I'm going to go right to the edge. Well, nearly to the edge. Down to the bottom. Let's stand back and look at this. It's a little bit too flat, but what it's done, of course, has had a massive impact in terms of space as well, because now we have these lines here that go behind the shape and then pop out here. So this now is in front of those. So we've got a little bit of space happening, and I'm quite enjoying this stripy motif in the painting, and I quite like this area. So I may not do too much here, and we may continue this kind of little stripy motif up the side there, but we'll see. And so the next thing we're going to do is mix up some transparent blue, and we're going to work over this area, and we're also going to separate this shape from here. That'll take 2 minutes. So this time we're going to go with maybe ultramarine and a bit of Prussian blue, both transparent blues. We're going to try it with a brush, but it may need a pour. But we'll see how we get on with a brush. Here we go. But because of the dark colour underneath, you know, it's not going to be as bright as this. So let's just see. And I mentioned taking out the yellow, so I'm going to take this right to the top of the painting. I quite like these scallop shapes here. We might keep that. Let's work it over the top now. And then I mentioned I want to separate this shape now from this line. But also, before I do that, I can see that this line is very straight here, but I think this line is not quite in tune with this line. I think it's too high, so we might have to redraw this line first. So if I take my stick and just do a check, yeah, as suspected, this line is too high. So we're just going to simplify it slightly. I do like this accidental shape here, so we're going to keep that. I might lose this one, but we'll see. So this white line is critical to the painting, so let's get it right. So we may as well continue all the way now. So now we're in the process of separating this shape, this cutout shape, from this line. Same at the other end as well. There's too much of a blob here, so I'm going to do the same process. I'm just going to take out, it's too thick at the end. And then we'll redraw some white in a minute. I said I don't mind losing this shape because I want to keep that one, so we'll just take that out. And I think this transparent blue really works on top of the white. It's a bit brighter, so let's take this away. Yeah, like that. Okay, two jobs done. This is crisper now and straighter. So I talked about moving this location shape. It's not connected to this anymore, but I still want to move it away slightly, and I want to put it at a better angle than what it's at the moment. So basically we're going to redraw So I was practicing this the other day, so I know where it's going to go. So what you're going to get now is like an echo of the shape underneath. And if I get time, I'm going to put in some streets and avenues. I've got a grid on this shape, so we might put some little markers, get a few, a bit more detail in. Lot to do today. We may as well use this pink, so let's just go around. It's like an echo of the shape underneath. All will be revealed. Nearly done. Oops. And just before I take the shape away, I'm just going to do some little markers for the streets and avenues, just to help me. So there's enough there to draw in the streets and avenues if I get a chance today. So we'll take this away. That's much more interesting now. It's less cut out because of this this echo. Okay, let's put the grid in. Let's put the grid in. So. Do one by hand. So you get the idea. Right. So I'm going to extend this beautiful transparent blue across the painting, taking out some of the yellow. So the paint's for me is getting a bit richer and denser, which is a good thing. So I'm going to remove this shape here, keep that one of the two, and I've got to make a choice. Let's go to the edge. Right, so far so good. I think the next thing now is to reinforce this line. This critical line to the painting. Let's get a suitable brush. Might be a little too fat. Let's try this. The painting seems to be getting more sophisticated, a bit more interesting. So So once I've reinforced this line, what I'm going to do, there's another location shape, if you remember, which I'm going to place in a different position. Instead of being on the central divider, we're going to put it here somewhere. So we'll do this first. So my brush is too thick. Let's try a different one. We're making this line stronger. This zigzag across the canvas. So a question will be where to end the line. I could go to the edge, but I might just stop here for now. So this is stronger, this is separated. All the ideas are talked about. So the painting seems crisper. Yeah. So I'm just going to grab my location shape and I'm just going to run it up and down this line to find the ideal position, and then we'll paint it. So I have been busy with my scissors. I've actually done a smaller version of this shape. Again, it's about scales. Maybe it's more interesting having. If you remember, this was smaller originally. This was larger, so we've shifted. This is a lot larger than this now, so it might be more interesting. So let's just try it along this line in a couple of places. So now this seems too even, that space there and this space there. So it could be more interesting, so I'm going to move it that way. Maybe somewhere there. Oops. Standing back. This will do. I like this relationship now. So I think we may do this in a paler pink. Yeah, and we'll hang it off the line. So, right. So this shape is highly detailed. It's but at the moment we're just going to do an approximation. We're just going to do a blob, and then we'll refine it later. It's getting the composition right. It's getting the position right. That's critical. The detail comes afterwards. I say this all the time. I started the grid, but we can elaborate that, refine it as we go along. It's getting the position of this, the main elements, and then we'll start going in with detail. And there should be lots of detail with this painting because, as I say, there's all these images that I have to try, the helicopter and the snake and all sorts of things. So we're going to start putting those in once the composition has been sorted, and the palette, of course, as well. So it's a cooler palette now. We've got rid of most of the yellow. I'm going to bring the pink up in a minute. I think take away this sliver of yellow here. And we may put a pink wash around the edges as well. So yeah, the next 5 minutes, a lot to do. So So essentially I'm just going to do a blob in this position, an approximation of this place. Picking up a bit of the blue, don't worry about it at the moment, so we're just going to get the scale of this blob right and the position. So maybe it's quite nice, this blob sitting on the top of the pink. That's quite a... Here we go. Oops, picked up a lot of the blue, but no problem. We'll sort that out. I think that does prove to me I have to take out this yellow. So we'll get the big knife again. There's a couple of lumps of paint as well I'm going to get rid of. That one there. That's better. Just something annoying me, so I've just got to work this for a second. It's too thick, the paint here. Oh, that's nice. Maybe. So this kind of reinforces this, scraping back the paint with the colours underneath. It's kind of reinforcing this, I suppose, stripe motif we've got in the painting. So we can leave that for a sec. So now I talked about maybe getting rid of the yellow edges. I'm going to get a mix up an alizarin crimson and take away the yellow, a very faint we don't seem to have any alizarin. Okay, we'll use a transparent red. I've actually picked up some Venetian red. I'm going to get this very thin, and I'm going to try this as well instead. It's probably going to be brighter than I want it and warmer, but let's just try it. What I'm going to do in a minute is wipe it off, just to leave a residue. Oops. Just a very thin layer. Let's get this corner. I'll just step back to see if we need to take it off. Actually, I quite like it, but I'm gonna take it off with a rag. We can always put it back. That's better, much more subtle. That I like. So the painting's moved on. So in the next session, I think we're going to work on this grid. And I think it's also still a bit cut out for me, so we're going to extend the grid into the surrounding area so it's sort of less isolated. And then possibly work on the night sky and the lights, and maybe introduce 1 or 2 images as well. See where that takes us. So, till next time, bye.